What's in your refrigerator? Isn't this a question that you've asked yourself this week? Haven't you looked in the fridge, see what you have to make for dinner, and thought, man, I better pick that up from the store? I know I have. Wouldn't you prefer to just walk outside, pick it off the stem? I know I would. Growing a home garden has many benefits and should be practiced in every household. I care about this topic because I am a gardener. I have friends and family that grow their own food, and I have had firsthand experience with gardening and have done plenty of research about the topic. It is all too often that we as a society take advantage of our community conveniences, including grocery stores and supermarkets. Uh, Therefore, I plan to inform you, the audience, about the benefits of growing your own garden. I will discuss the following things. What is gardening? What are the benefits of gardening? And why should you garden? Now that I've laid out my main points, let's move on to the first. What is gardening? According to Gardening for Fitness and Body of Soul, published in the Saturday Evening Post in September and October 2000, gardening is the act of growing plant products in order to personally consume them for substance. Examples of this would be growing any products. So, products from mint to corn, tomatoes, zucchini, the list goes on and on. Additionally, gardening can be found in many places. Places it could include your backyard, your own home, your neighborhood, your apartment building, your schools and or churches. Which really brings me to the next point. What are the benefits of gardening? Um, the outcomes of this practice were really influenced by this article titled Katie's Garden Food Feed Your Community, published by Newman Girls in August 2010. It teaches the impact of growing a garden amongst children within the community. It really is taught that children nowadays are taught about farms and vegetables and fruits from their toddler ages. For the parents in the room, you all can recognize how many books you've read about, vegetables and bananas and corns and fruits and just different things, and how, songs are based on farming techniques and different atmospheres that involve your food products. Gardening can really get the children involved and give them an interest in what they're eating and how that impacts their health at a very young age. Additionally, an article published stated that it allows you to educate others on the purpose of community gardening and how it brings friends and family together. This article was titled Share Your Yard While Feeding and Empowering Your Community and Having a Lot of Fun at the Same Time. So it's not just my opinion. There are many people that believe that gardening can be a lot of fun. And within this article, they list plenty of people that can be impacted by the idea of gardening. These include foodies, tree huggers, farmers, curious kids, folks with disabilities, people that want to get outside and be more involved hands-on. That is so many people impacted by the idea of gardening and growing their own food. So then my next point should be addressed at this time. Why should you garden? For most people, the practice is taught that growing your own garden can work as a food supply. I read in an article called Edible Backyards, Qualitative Study of Household Food Growing and its contributions to food security, that, growing your own garden can give you essentially a food supply, which most people prefer to have that type of security, especially in times of need, financial crisis. Maybe there's a member in the household that's lost their job. To have a supply like that backed up is really comforting, knowing that you can feed your family, feed yourself, and feed your children. Additionally, I'd like to state that an article called Grow, Grow, Grow Your Own, published in the New Statesman issue July 12th of 2010, states that there are many health benefits to growing your own garden. People that take the time to go outside and soak in some sun, have a physical activity. Gardening can be challenging, so therefore it is a type of exercise. I'd like to, as I conclude, I'd like to demonstrate to you a few items that I personally grew in my garden and picked for you just today. One example would be a mint sprig. As you can see, this is about 1.5 feet long, and it does have many sprigs on it. The plant itself is at least 4 feet at this point in time, and it's November, so it's not really the typical blooming season for the mint. That's just one example. A few others would be a serrano pepper as well as a jalapeno pepper, both of which that I use in salsas that I really enjoy. And other things like chives. This is something very simple, a chive for you. You can still see that the roots are still on. I pulled it right out of the ground. Essential, fresh product for you. I really highly recommend that others do so as well. As I've discussed within this speech, what is gardening? What are the benefits of gardening, and why should you garden? I would like to present to you, a personal story of mine. It involves my grandmother. She impacted me and encouraged me to grow my own garden. And as a young child, we spent many summers in the garden with her. I hope to influence my children and my community in the same ways so that I can impact their health and their lives in the future. Thank you for listening.